All right, if you've clicked on this video, then you're probably thinking about doing IVF, in vitro fertilization, and want to make sure that you do everything possible to increase your chances of success. Am I right? Probably. Well, in this video, I'm going to break down the 5 vital steps that you need to take and that need to happen in the right specific order in order for you to get pregnant and have a baby after this next IVF cycle for you. What I want is for you to have a successful IVF so you don't need to do another cycle, so you don't have to go through it again and again. How do I know about this? Well, during the last 20 years, I've helped thousands of couples get pregnant, and many of them have tried with IVF. So even though I'm all into natural fertility and not rushing into IVF, some couples that I work with do need IVF. And about 50% of the couples that we work with within my Hope coaching program are doing IVF or getting ready to do IVF. You can see some of those couples I work with right here. So if you're here and you're serious about it, give this video a like and a thumbs up. If you're excited about getting some clarity on what the right steps are for your upcoming IVF, be sure to subscribe for new fertility videos right here at FertilityTV every week. And in just a second, you'll see why many couples decided to join my Hope program so I can help them. I'm gonna go deep on what you need to know about IVF. I assure you, you've never heard many of these tips before, and I'm going to share them in these 5 steps. Or if you're very serious about getting pregnant and you're ready to take action and have me as your fertility coach, there is an application link in the description below. Head on there right now, fill it out with as much detail as possible, and if you qualify, you'll be able to connect with my team so we can see if you're a good fit for the Hope program. And without further ado, let's jump into the 5 ways to increase your chances of an IVF success on your next IVF cycle. All right, before we jump into my 5 tips, I do want to ask all of you a question. How many of you have tried IVF already? Comment below and let me know. How many of you are contemplating doing IVF? I want to hear from you. All you have to do is comment below and say me, and I'll know. All right? So tip number 1, or in this case, step number 1. Know why you are doing IVF. What is the root cause that is not letting you get pregnant that IVF can potentially fix? I say this, and it might sound straightforward for all of you, but I'm telling you, from working with couples for so long and seeing this repeatedly, the majority of couples don't even know why they're doing IVF. Well, I just walked into my OBGYN's office. She recommended that I go see the fertility doctor because she couldn't help me or figure out why, and she doesn't really have the time to do it. So she sent me to the IVF clinic. The IVF clinic, I spoke to them. They said I should do IVF to get pregnant. So I'm doing IVF. But no one has ever explained to you why you need it. Often you might even be given the diagnosis of unexplained. So they say, well, we don't know why, so let's just do IVF to fix the problem. I want all of you to understand, I'm a proponent of IVF. I just want to make sure that you need it and it makes sense for you. And I believe that often couples go there prematurely or unnecessarily. And I want to make sure that if you go there, you really need it so that we can maximize your success. So why are you going? Ask your fertility team, ask your health team, your medical providers, why are you recommending this? How is that going to fix my fertility issue? How is that going to allow me to get pregnant? Because often I see that you don't know why, you have no clue what the root issues are, and as a result, IVF is not successful. And I want it to be successful for you. Step number 2, and something that I think is absolutely crucial to having a successful fertility process and successful IVF, is create your personalized fertility team. That's right, maybe no one has ever spoken to you about this. What do you mean, my fertility team? What does that look like? You need a team to get you over the finish line, to get you the successes that you want. This is going to or should include your REI, reproductive endocrinologist and immunologist, or reproductive endocrinologist and infertility specialist, depending on what you need. It should also include your OBGYN, your gynecologist, and at least your integrative provider or healthcare provider, like me. That's where I step in, right? Then you have the support of all aspects so you can have them working together, using their heads together, and hopefully communicating. So this is not just about having these individuals on your team and they're working in their individual silos. This is about them communicating and potentially collaborating, I think this is where you're going to get the most success. This is where I see the best success, is when I am collaborating with those other members of your healthcare team to get you the best results, so that we're all on the same page and working harmoniously and integratively to get you the results that you need. Each one of these individuals actually has a different specialty and has a different perspective. And I want those different perspectives so that you can have all those different viewpoints, create a collaborative approach with all the different avenues. You put in together this natural side of things and integrative side with the IVF and medical side of things. And then if you need some additional testing and support, that's where your OBGYN comes in. And they all work together to support you to get the results that you want. Doesn't that sound nice? That sounds awesome. This is like my dream. This is what I want for all of you and for the progression of the fertility community and industries. I want more collaboration, and I think that's possible. And that's when I think you can get the best results. So I want you to have all these different perspectives so that all the different areas that need to be supported are getting what they need, and we can have a proper integrative approach for you. Step 3 is deciding on what the best clinical protocol is for you. Understanding this and picking who to work with could be the most important decision you make. This one thing is what I absolutely often help couples do within my coaching program, is decide on what clinic is the best clinic for them to work with, what IVF doctor is the best IVF doctor for them, and what protocol is the best protocol for them. That's right. You need, just like everything else, a unique approach for you as an individual based on your root causes, right? Step 1 was finding out what is going on, what the root issues are, and understanding what that is, so you're not just blindly going into IVF. And once you know that, then it's much easier to create your integrative team, which is step 2, and come up with the appropriate protocol to get you the best results and maximize your results. I'm not saying that sometimes that doesn't need to be changed or altered once we learn more information, but in the beginning we need to find what's the best protocol for you. Is it conventional? Is it a conventional IVF protocol? Is it low medication? Is it mini IVF? Is it natural IVF? Is it using a lot in a conventional approach? Is it using a really high dose or a moderate high dose? And what combination of those medications are we going to do? There's a lot. There's not one path for everybody, and there's not one medical protocol for everybody when we are looking at doing IVF, and we need to figure out what's the best protocol for you. With that said, a little bit of this unfortunately does come with trial and error, but we want to minimize that as much as possible and maximize your results, which is why I'm saying that if we can understand what your root cause is and understand why you need IVF, step 1, create a good integrative team, step 2, then I do believe that step 3 will get you the best results possible with the protocol. And that's why it all starts with step 1. Step 4 is making sure that you're getting all the appropriate testing. Now, you might need to do this in phases, because there might be certain tests that should happen before an egg retrieval and you create those embryos. And then there might be certain tests that need to be done after the egg retrieval, but before an embryo transfer or a frozen embryo transfer, so you can make sure that the uterine environment, the endometrium, is ready to go and be receptive for implantation and holding a pregnancy. But getting the appropriate testing. Often what I find is that many providers will say, well, you just need this basic testing right now, and if these cycles don't work out, then we can do more testing later. Why wait? Like, why spend tens of thousands of dollars and time and multiple cycles to be unsuccessful to then say, oh, we should do this testing now? So I'm not saying we have to do all the testing under the sun, because that can be expensive, but I do think so often there's not enough testing done on hormones, on ovarian function, on uterine health, that we wait till multiple failures before we incorporate those things. If your history presents itself in a certain way that yields and makes sense that you should be having certain tests, I want to do those first and foremost. I don't want to wait. So make sure that you're getting all the right testing now before you move forward with any unnecessary retrievals and embryo transfers, so that we can maximize your success in the future. And number 5, one of my favorite things, add in acupuncture. This might be the 4th person on your integrative team. Add in an acupuncturist and make sure that you are incorporating this leading up to your egg retrieval and certainly leading up to your embryo transfer. Acupuncture through a ton, hundreds, if not thousands of research studies, has proven that it can support and increase your chances of success. The best thing that I have seen is when people incorporate it, when couples incorporate acupuncture about 10 to 12 weeks before an egg retrieval leading up, so you can get the best treatments and maximize those therapies before an egg retrieval, and then between egg retrieval and embryo transfer, and then on the day of embryo transfer, before and after, pre and post transfer, and then after transfer as well, to maintain that progress. That is when I have seen the best results. If you are looking for a good, qualified, trained acupuncturist, because not all acupuncturists know about fertility, reproductive health, hormones, and IVF, then I encourage you to check out the website aborm.org. Type in your zip code and you can find an acupuncturist that is trained and certified to get you the proper treatments that you need. And this is worldwide, a worldwide organization. They don't have everybody in every country, someone in every country, but they do in many countries. So you should check that out wherever you are in the world. All right, have you tried IVF? I want to hear from you. Comment below and let me know. Which one of these 5 tips did you find the most useful and helpful, or multiple tips did you find useful and helpful? Comment below and let me know. And if you've got questions about your fertility, please leave those there as well. As I said, if you are really serious about getting pregnant, head to marksklar.com/discovery call. I'll leave that link in the description below to speak to a real human on my team so we can identify if having me as your fertility coach is the right next step on your fertility journey. And if you want more information before you take that step, then make sure to check out this video next, the 3 secrets to get pregnant even if you have low egg quality. Check it out right here. I'll also leave that link in the description below. All right, everyone, until the next video, stay fertile.